first play unbalanced. Is that the first time you guys have run that this season?
No, I think we've had a couple other times. The first play of the game for sure, first time, but I think we have a couple other unbalanced ones that we've had in there. All right.
So what'd you think? First game with Tommy Reese, I mean, did you feel different? Did the offense feel different to you? The rhythm of it or anything?
I thought different's hard, but I thought we did a good job getting the plays in for the most part. There's one little thing when, Sed was banged up, and I don't think they knew yet that he wasn't able to go. I thought we moved the pocket a little bit more. I thought there were some good things we did. Obviously, we want to execute, but we had some really nice drives there for touchdowns. A big play off the turnover was, kind of off of movement protection. So some good things like that. And like I said, the operation to me for the most part was pretty smooth.
Julie, you talk about moving the pocket a little bit. It seemed like there is an emphasis on getting Dylan sort of rolled out a little bit and running some of those plays. Just how much do you think that's a strength of his game and something that you can build on?
Yeah, it helps him. I think it opens up the field for him. It puts guys, in front of you. Like, all right, we got to, kind of see that side of the field. And then it helps too because now the backside DN might not be crashing as hard on a run, or they're not sure it's the same look as a runner or pass. So I think it just kind of opens up everything for us.
Well, it seems like, and you talked about this a little bit after the game too, but it does really seem like the offensive players are genuinely really behind Dylan and understand that it takes a little time and patience to develop a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
But is that legitimate that you feel that that's sort of offense-wide that you guys are really behind him like that?
Yeah, I think the locker room supports him. We understand how hard, quarterback's the most important position in all sports, I think. And, to come in and have to play as a young guy, third-round pick, you want to give the guy a chance to develop and find his rhythm. And we keep talking about executing around him. If we can give him his best opportunities, then we're hopeful that, the play can improve and lead to some wins. But no, we got the most support for him. Really, whoever's back there, we're going to support, we're going to go for. But Dylan's our guy right now, and we're really focused on trying to be the best versions of ourselves to help him out.
And can you imagine that, I'm sure he does a great job of blocking out the noise, and I know all you guys are really focused on doing that, but can you imagine that it also might be a little bit hard for him when there's just so much noise surrounding the quarterback situation here and Shador and all of that?
Yeah, I mean that's probably a question we can ask Dylan. But I tell the young guys all the time, stay off Twitter, stay off Instagram. It's no good for you. And so hopefully he's sticking to that. I mean, he is a study guy. He's in here studying the plays and stuff. I feel like he's very focused on his assignment and what he needs to do, to be the best version of himself. But yeah, I think he stayed focused, and there's always going to be noise, especially like I said at that position. But he's done a good job to me of staying focused and concentrating on the task at hand.
Joel, Tommy told us on that 4th and 1 that he wishes he would have run the ball. I guess what does it mean to you to have a coordinator kind of publicly, kind of own that and own the mistake there?
Yeah, no, Tommy is a straightforward guy. He's going to tell you how he feels, good, bad, or indifferent, and kind of tell you what he expects. And after the game, there's a few plays where he's like, I wish I would have called it this way. I wish I would have called that. That was one of them that he's like, I wish I would have ran the ball, But when you're in the heat of the moment, you go out there, you try and execute the play, that's something you can look back on the next day or, watching film on the bus, all right, what can we do better in this situation? But when you have a leader that, takes accountability, I feel like that's all you can really ask.
Yeah, I mean, is that something that kind of trickles down to, if he's willing to take accountability for that, kind of trickles down to the play?
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a lot of guys that are focused on doing their best and trying to improve. But I don't think we've had an issue with accountability of guys saying we need to be better or we need to, make the play in those certain situations.
What about just how well the Ravens defense has been playing, especially over the last 3 weeks, and they got a ton of pressure last week against the Vikings. What are you seeing from them?
Yeah, they've done, I mean, they've been a great defense. They've had some ups and downs the last couple of years, but I think the last 3 or 4 weeks they've been really dialed in. They've gotten healthier. They're missing a couple guys up front, but they've brought guys in that are great players as well, and they just fit their system so well. And I think they plug guys in, and they they're not afraid to kind of tinker with what's working. Kyle Hamilton is obviously a great player, and they're like, oh, he's, let's put him by the line of scrimmage, and he's been blitzing and making plays, and he's tough for running backs to block, and he's fast, can cover guys as well, and they do a good job with him and Roquan and all their guys inside. So it's a very multiple front, and I think it takes them a while to figure out what works for the guys they have at that point, and they've kind of put them in a good place.
It seems like off of that they've got a lot of more pressure just like blitzing, not so much like just from the front four. So how much is that an emphasis for you guys to sort of be ready to account for extra guys?
Yeah, decent amount of blitzing, and they always try and overload one side or show one and bring the other, blitz the back a lot. It's a big emphasis, and then their blitzes also are combined with like line games. So you'll have like a TE with a nickel pressure, and sometimes it's easier when you don't have a game, So they do a good job of mixing things up, and it's something that we've been focused on today. Our third downs and really trying to figure out what their plan is against us.
Do you feel like you guys will be able to correct the protection problems that happened in the last game?
Yeah, a lot of those were, it comes down to, again, the one-on-ones. And so we've been really focused on fundamentals, on pad level, on hands, all those things. We want to make sure we're, like we said, giving our offense the best chance. And as an O-line, we have to play at a higher level to do that.
Hey, Joe, we just talked to him for the first time since his injuries. What's he like being around him when you see him in the building and just you put yourself in his shoes, how tough that would be?
Yeah, I mean, he was a little bit down for a few weeks, but he's been back, and he's been in here rehabbing and doing his thing. It sucks, but he's kind of used to the rehab process now, but I think he's grown as a person that's rehabbing too. He's doing a really good job. He's been back in meetings a little bit and trying to pick up things and just understanding you're still a young player in this league. I don't know how many games you started, maybe 10 or 15, and it's like, you're going to year 4 next year, but you want to build and pick up and understand, this offense and just the NFL play as much as possible. But his attacking the rehab has been, in my opinion, like much improved, and he's been very focused on it. Sweet. Thanks, guys.
lost to Jerry, did you?
Ooh, I hate that.
I got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes with this on, so
Who did you lose the bet to, Jerry?
it's not even important, really. I feel like I'm about to throw up, man. Anyone?
I just kind of want to let you sit with this for a little bit.
Yeah. It's all right. It happens, man.
Grant, I know you were obviously frustrated after that loss, and especially the special teams touchdowns. Like, how have you guys digested what happened on those plays, and what's like correctable from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think just obviously can't happen, you know. And just, you know, too many explosive negative plays that we've given up on special teams. And it just got to get fixed, you know. So I was out there for both of those plays, so it's not like it's just random people out there. You know, I think we all just got to do a better job. All right, I think we got the pictures of.
So, last week you mentioned having these two quarterbacks back to back, running quarterbacks, would help you. Right? I mean, you did pretty good defending Justin Fields. So, do you think it will have that kind of effect going into this bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're familiar with Lamar, familiar with the Ravens offense, and they're familiar with us. So, yeah, playing the zone read, some of the same techniques as last week. But at the end of the day, you know, Schwartz talked about it a little bit. I think this game is just about respect, you know, despite how things is going, despite how, you know, what might be happening outside of the defense perspective. I think it's just like people know that the Browns going to come with a great defense, and I think that's just upholding that standard and earning that respect every play.
On that note, with the shifty quarterback like Lamar and his ability to extend plays, you know, kind of what does that do for, you know, the secondary's ability to have to cover Zay Flowers, who's kind of having this breakout year?
Yeah, it's annoying, man. It's very annoying. He just be running everywhere across the field, and, you know, you expect it to, you know, plaster until, you know, it's incomplete. So they're going to make a play or two. You know, Lamar going to skate the pocket, do some crazy stuff like we all seen. So, you know, we just got to do our best to stay close. It already happened. It already happened. It happened. It's good. That wasn't the deal. That wasn't. See how people start adding stuff on to the deal. He said, "I got to wear it for the interview. I wore it for the interview." Look, pictures last forever. Like, we act like this isn't going to disappear.
Hey, Grant, multiple guys in the Baltimore locker room yesterday said you guys were the best defense they play all year. Is that something you take pride in?
Yeah, like I was telling Tony, just having that respect, man, and maintaining that and earning that, you know, every snap. So, because that could be gone. So, just knowing that they got to come with it every play, I think that despite our circumstances, that's what we strive for as a defense.
Grant, it seems like they're using Keaton Mitchell a little bit more as kind of like a different style back out of the backfield, doing some of the unique things with him. Just what type of challenges does he present? Obviously different than Derrick Henry in that way, as a weapon for them.
Yeah, no, he got elite speed. I think obviously completely different back then. You know, Henry, they complement each other. So, you know, he housed the draw against us, I think, 2 years ago or last year. So we're familiar with him, and we're going to be prepared for it.
How does having Ricard, he wasn't there, how does he change the run game when you put all that, you know, power in front of Derrick, I guess?
Yeah, you know, we know he's the point of attack, you know, guy. He's just a big center block of a, you know, guy. So you just got to, you know, I'm sure they're going to follow him.
You've been very supportive of Bubba in the past, just in terms of being the special teams coordinator. And Kevin came out on Monday and gave him a big vote of confidence and said he still supports him and the special teams. So what are your thoughts on Bubba and what you guys can do to even back him up more?
Yeah, you know, obviously it's not fun giving up plays. It's not fun losing. It's not fun when, you know, your side of the ball is not playing well. You know, so, I mean, shit. I think players just got to do all they can do to help them out. You know, I feel like, you know, coaching can only go so far, and they got to come. You know, special teams is is an attitude, you know, effort type of, you know, play. It's not like complicated, you know. So it's pretty simple, and the guys just got to buy into that. I feel like we have. It's just, you know, as we know, like big plays is just small margins could result in 6 points.
You know, every time you play the Ravens, you know, there's Lamar to deal with. You realize this is the 6th different quarterback you'll be facing the Ravens. 6 different, last 6 games.
Yeah.
6 different quarterback for the Browns against the Ravens.
Oh.
Do you even notice that, being on defense?
Nah.
I mean, you guys have been pretty consistent as a unit.
Yeah,
for those 3 years.
that doesn't affect me. So, but I feel like whatever the circumstance is, I feel like we just got to keep our offense in the game, man, give them the ball back. Despite who's at the, you could be out there. We're going to get you the ball back, too.
You'd love that.
Yeah.
Grant, looking at, Derrick Henry last time had 23 yards on 11 carries. I think it was like, what worked well for you guys as a defense in that matchup?
I mean, we have certain game plan stuff that we do. Certain fronts that we give them. Our D-line gets a lot of penetration that helps us out. And, making tackles in open field is also a good thing. So, I think that's the key to stopping any run offense.
With the way you guys kind of won in the trenches on the defense side of the ball last time, and the way that you keep Mitchell, are you almost expecting maybe like a change up in this second matchup and them trying to work the perimeter a little bit more?
Yeah, I think every team tries to attack us on the perimeter. Literally every team. So hopefully, we do what we got to do on the outside and discourage those plays a little bit.
Again, we've asked you about Carson before, but what did he show you by fighting through that high ankle, going out there and playing, I think every snap, and having a bunch of big plays?
Yeah, I mean, he's a joy to play around, man. He's like always where he's supposed to be. It's great to have those as a safety, especially from a young guy. You ain't got to worry about him. He's always going to take care of what he take care of and really be the first one to the ball every play. He's like skyrocketing in the total tackles and stuff like that. So I'm proud of him, man. He's doing a great job, and he's going to keep it going. Good. All right, y'all. Thank y'all.
The ankle feel after once kind of the adrenaline of the game wore off? How did it kind of feel? Morning after.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be a little sore, but nothing nothing that wasn't expected.
Carson, on the screen pass, Miles kind of mentioned he thought there was something that could have got called on you on the play. Just obviously you were right there in it. Just what was your perspective? Do you think maybe there was something there?
I mean, there's a lot of plays like that, and at the end of the day, I mean, the easiest way to not have that happen is to just not get blocked in the first place.
How's the Ravens' offense different when Lamar's out there versus when he's out?
I mean, you can see when he's out there, they're one of the top offenses. When he wasn't, they were in the bottom half. So obviously he's very dynamic, and they're able to win games with him, and he adds a lot of versatility to what they can do.
You watched the film the last couple of weeks that he has come back. Does he look like himself again?
Yeah. I think he's not going to go out there if he can't go out there and play his style of football.
Carson, last time you guys played the Ravens, Derrick Henry had 23 yards on 11 carries. what worked well in that matchup that you think you can potentially carry over as a defense?
Yeah, with him, you just don't want to let him get going, and that's the mindset again this week too is get to him early.
What did you the fact that you have already played Lamar one time, how much does that help you in this game, and what was your kind of takeaway? What did you learn from playing him the first time?
Yeah, I think it helps. I mean, in college you don't play teams twice, so doing that, I mean, there's some familiarity there already. And I think, especially with these division games, it's, we know what they're going to do, they know what we're going to do, and we have to be able to go out there and execute.
Carson, various sites and odds have you as the favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Is that something you've given any thought to?
Not really, no.
Does it seem real?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the goal is to go out there and just try and play my best football when I'm out there.
And I know obviously you've played running quarterbacks before, but the first time you played Lamar, is there just stuff you can't learn about him until you actually are out there and kind of feel it a little?
I mean, yeah, I think that's the same with everything, though. There's especially being a rookie. Every week I go out there, I'm learning things, and like I said, now there's some familiarity there, and just taking things from that game and applying them to this one.
What's been the biggest lesson you've learned just over the whole course of this that you really didn't know until you don't know until you know?
I mean, there's a lot of them. I could probably give you a list, but I think I think one of the biggest things is just when I'm out there trying to just do my job and stick to that, and that's when the plays come.
What did you think of Kevin Stefanski saying that you have Wolverine blood and also really touting you for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I mean, that's always great to hear, but I think, for me, it was just if I was able to play, I wanted to get back out there. So, all right, thank you.